Lebanese commemorate the 14th anniversary of victory, stressing support to the acts of resistance. The Foreign Minister states that Syria is exposed to the greatest campaign of fact-forging, but it will remain steadfast. Thousands demonstrated in the German Cologne city against Erdogan's visit. Good afternoon. Welcome to our news bulletin. I'm Dania Nizam. The Central Committee for Presidential Elections at the Foreign and Expatriates Ministry urged the Syrian expatriates who had their names registered on electoral lists to cast their ballots in a presidential election scheduled May 28th from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. It is to be noted that the presidential elections are scheduled on the 28th of this month for the Syrians residing abroad and on the 3rd of June for the Syrians living inside Syria. The popular activity has continued all over Syria, supporting the presidential elections and the national principles. The participants stressed on the importance of participating in the presidential elections to express the national decision and the role of our martyrs who sacrificed for the sake of the homeland. The participants stressed that they will say and they will state on the 3rd of June that the Syrian people are the ones who will say the first and final word for the future and sovereignty of the homeland. The Lebanese people, Hezbollah, various national parties in Lebanon and all the free peoples of the world mark today the 14th anniversary of liberating the south of Lebanon on the 25th of May 2000 after defeating and kicking out the Israelis from the south of Lebanon. This victory has been realized thanks to the sacrifices of the Lebanese and the great support presented by Syria and the axis of resistance to the Lebanese resistance. In Damascus, the Syrian Doctors Syndicate celebrated today the Arab Doctors' Day. Prime Minister Wael Halaqi stressed the importance of the doctors' role in standing by the Syrian Arab army that fight terrorism by serving them day and night in the national hospitals. Al-Halaqi affirmed that 38 hospitals out of 124 are out of service and 701 health centres out of 1,921 were sabotaged due to the terrorists' acts, even though the government is still servicing all the citizens for free. As in this occasion, doctors were honoured for their great efforts.
I was in the team of renal transplantation, and I worked with the first renal transplantation in Syria and the first heart transplantation. I am honoured with what they did with me today. It was a gift, a small gift, but it means a lot because my work was appreciated here in Syria.
Iranian President Hassan Rouhani said during the opening of the conference that the West is attempting to grab the Islamic communities, adding that the confrontation today is that of identities. Rouhani stressed that communications constitute part of the national potential of each country to reach out its voice, pointing out that the Islamic world cannot be delayed in the race of news and the use of modern technologies for influencing public opinion, which is not an option anymore, but a priority. Information Minister Amran al-Zabi has has said that Syria has never ever changed, pointing out that it will remain firm and an example to follow in Arabism, Islam, justice and freedom. As Zabi added, Syria is undergoing the biggest campaign of falsification of facts, incidents and events, as no state in the world has ever witnessed as such, through broadcasting intensive volumes of images and news items and preventing its national media from appearing on satellites, including Nilesat and Arabsat. He added. Syria is struggling with all its capacities based on your direct support on media forums to show the reality as it is and to expose what is taking place in it in the attempts of destroying the structure of the state, institutions, army and the culture of resistance, he said. Syrian Arab army units killed many terrorists in Aleppo and its countryside and foiled attempts by others to infiltrate and attack military checkpoints west of Arestan Dam in Homs countryside. Other army units inflicted heavy losses among terrorists in Jadiyah, Tel Houran and Noah village in Daraa countryside. Within the framework of upgrading the higher education in Syria through cooperation between the Higher Ministry of Education and EU's institutions, Faculty of Economy at Damascus University has held a workshop to introduce the two programs of Tempus and Erasmus with the aim to exchange experience with European universities and boost the academic programs and the educational systems in Syria. Thousands demonstrated to the west of Germany over Erdogan's visit and against his government's corruption. Demonstrators gathered in a square in the city, raised the Syrian and Turkish flags and held banners reading, "Erdogan persona non grata," as resistance is due against Justice and Development Party because it is like fascism. On the other hand, Erdogan's forces' attacks continued for the third day against protesters in Istanbul, which resulted in the killing of 2 protesters in the area of Okmedani, whereas the vice president of the People's Party criticized the over-violence practiced by the Turkish police against protesters, noting that Erdogan has supported the positions of the policemen who killed citizens in Okmedani. With this, we end our news for today. Thank you for watching us. For more details about Syria and the region, you can view this bulletin again on our website, syriaonline.sy. After the break, it's Vani with our economic business news. God bless you all, and long live Syria.